What is cracking YouTube? Hi ladies, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be covering 3 myths that you still might believe about fitness that are unfortunately impacting your progress, maybe even your happiness and your overall fitness journey negatively. Now, we'll go over them really quick and then we'll jump into the nuances of each one later in the video, but stick around for the end because I want to give you guys a sneak peek of my next female related topic. Now, this is a message for ladies and frankly some men that I think are still extremely prevalent, especially when I get questions from clients, friends, family members that are extremely pervasive among casuals, even in the overall fitness ethos, in the fitosphere, whatever word you want to use, right? These are 3 myths that are honestly just inhibiting your results in the gym and not conducive to the results that you want and that will make you feel great about yourself, that fulfillment, the stability, and just longevity of your health. The pinnacle of happiness is progress. And why would you do something that is going to inhibit the process? Let's quickly go over these 3 common myths, and then we'll actually dive deeper into each one after that and kind of bring up some scientific literature. Number 1, I need to do more cardio. Number 2, I should do way more reps to tone my muscles. Number 3, lifting weights is just gonna make me bulky. I don't wanna look like a man. Okay, so diving into little nuances here about each myth. The reason why cardio doesn't always work the best for losing weight is it's very hard to out-train a bad diet, but the cardio that you're doing, you're not burning as many calories as you might think. Furthermore, just doing cardio usually doesn't achieve the goal in mind that most women have about their physique or their body. The most overused term in fitness history as far as women are related, or I want to say the buzzword I've heard come out of my client's mouth the absolute most is the word tone. And what does tone really mean? And obviously it's a leaner body type, a more hard look, more chiseled, more cut, but that does not get achieved with just cardio alone. And this is why it's not going to be conducive to achieving the results that you want from your physique. Also, cardio is so monotonous. It is so boring. It's super brutal. I have a deep, abhorrent hatred for cardio. I don't like it, even though I do it because I know it's for your cardiovascular health. But when it comes to achieving the aesthetics that you want, you cannot just do only cardio. And unfortunately, this is a myth a lot of women fall victim to, and they only do cardiovascular exercise, and then they wonder why they are not getting the physique they are desiring. The second thing they believe is doing high repetitions will tone the muscle or give them the harder looking physique that they want, right? Now, this sounds great, and some people might believe this, and I think that's why a lot of women use this exercise style. The only problem is when you're training high rep, low weight, you're training muscular endurance, right? The rep range for hypertrophy is relatively low. It's in like the 4 to 15 rep range. I would even cut it to like 6 to 12 would even be a better range. But most people don't realize that. So they train super duper high rep and they're not actually maximizing the potential muscle gain. This is also very important for females because they do not have the testosterone in their bloodstream to support easy muscle gain, generally speaking. It's going to be harder for you to gain lean contractile tissue on your frame just because of your hormonal profile genetically. Now, that being said, there should be an even more intense focus on resistance training with the proper rep range and proper load to achieve that goal, to AKA look more toned. Now, last myth that is super duper common, like probably the most common, is I don't want to lift weights because it's going to make me look bulky, and I don't want to be bulky. I want to be toned. Well, I have news for you. The only way for you to look toned is to do resistance training with the proper rep range and the proper load to maximize muscle tissue gain. You need to lift weights. Now, there's a lot of caveats with that because, or nuances, is it's intimidating. The movements are more complex. Higher risk for injury if your form is not good. Another one I can think of is it's hard. A lot of people don't like to lift heavy because it's more challenging than lifting light, obviously. But a more like deeper rooted issue on why women should be lifting weights way more than they do is the risk for osteoporosis. About 1 in 3 women will develop osteoporosis, which is basically pores developing in your bone as you age, hence osteoporosis, the word porous inside of that word. And this is super detrimental to your longevity on this planet because if you do break a major bone in your body when you're above the age of 70, your risk factor for dying a sooner death is vastly increased. And one of the most common ones is obviously your hip, which is a major bone in your body. So the best way to combat osteoporosis development and onset, and by the way, when you're about 40 years old, every single year after that, you're going to be losing about 1% of your bone density. Now, one of the best ways to mitigate that, and this also goes for men, it's just the degradation of the density isn't as quick as females, but still about 1 in 5 males will also develop osteoporosis. So this is also important for you, but way more important for females to do resistance training with the proper loads consistently over time to help mitigate your risk against osteoporosis and thus exceed your potential life expectancy if you did not lift weights, right? That's obviously the goal, is to stay healthy and live as long as possible and live a healthier life. Less complications at elder age. Obviously, you want to be walking around and have that strength to do so later in life. And all the scientific data basically points to when you have a healthier life when you're younger, it will help translate and offset a lot of these things later on in your life. And it is super duper important. So, ladies, please take this advice. Start lifting weights. It's not going to make you bulky. Do less cardio. Still do your cardio, but don't just purely focus on cardio. You need to have a balance between resistance, cardio, and even some athletic training. Obviously, aerobics are important, but don't forget about the bone density situation you got going on. Also, high reps do not work the best for achieving the look that you want. Plus, you get the added bonus of when you do add lean contractile tissue to your body, you are increasing your metabolic rate or your resting metabolic rate. We know this scientifically. So, AKA, if your resting metabolic rate is higher, it's easier for you to lose more weight and look more toned, but also you'll be able to have like more wiggle room with your caloric intake versus if you didn't have as much lean contractile tissue in your frame. Meaning you can eat a little bit more calories and get away with it because you have more lean body mass on your frame. As promised, The next topic that I'm going to spend a lot of time researching, I want to give more of a high quality video for you guys, for you ladies, is kind of a video on body image, social media, and plastic surgery with a little fitness bow placed on top. It's going to be pretty extensive, but just kind of wanted to give you a little sneak peek. Stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I think it wouldn't be too unreasonable for you to hit that like button or maybe share this video with someone that you think needs to see this. Anywho, have a great week. I'll see you guys soon. Tuning out.